You're listening to Childcare Sights and Sounds, presented by Dani Christine Inc., a podcast made for childcare providers by childcare providers.
Zoom anything nowadays, I realize I feel like it doesn't matter what I look like.
I'm like, when she's done up, I'm not. When I'm done up, you're not. Like, I feel like the last time we did it at my house, I got all together and you look like this. It's like a back and forth.
Yeah. I just don't care.
Hey.
Not right now. I think the most important thing, you know what, let's start the intro.
Before we get into this podcast episode, I wanted to let you guys know that Webinar Wednesdays are back. You can go to childcaresites.com/webinars to register for tomorrow's webinar, where I will show you what to look for in a property that you're considering for your childcare business. So head on over and sign up.
Welcome back to Childcare Sights and Sounds, everyone. I am Dani.
And I'm Gigi.
And I forgot how to do the rest of the intro. I don't think there really was a full one that we created yet. But anyway, back to how we look, because I'm putting all of that at the beginning of the episode too. I'm just like, I'm yeah. I feel like the past couple of weeks, it's like I showed up. That's all.
Yeah, and the last time I was like, she showed up and I ain't show up, so I gotta show up this time. But yeah.
So we're here. We pulled through at the last minute to make episode 2 for you guys, as promised. Yes. Because I really did not want to, I had this whole announcement about season 2 starting, and it was very long awaited, and I did not want us to let down our listeners. So here we are. Gigi looks beautiful. I look crazy, but we're here. Where are you?
I'm at our second location that I oversee, that had been nonstop. So yeah.
Why does it look so messy over there?
Is our marketing
before anybody else does.
It's our marketing stuff, and we got some deliveries that I just didn't get a chance to get to yesterday. It's toilet tissue, just so you guys know.
Right. It's the weekend. It is Saturday. We are closed. Yeah. Gigi really just went to the center just to record this episode for you guys.
Because at my house, you're going to hear it all. It's as if my daughter's there. So,
and they have. Yeah. Last season, there were a few episodes shot at home. But yeah, what I have a topic to talk about in this episode.
Oh, okay.
I'd love to talk about what's going on. Let me just be blind because I can't. I feel like the glare in my glasses is crazy. I have horrible vision, you guys. I can't see your face anymore. I can't see my face on the computer screen.
Goodness.
It's so bad. But anyway, and are my eyes crusty? Do I look okay?
No, you look good.
Okay.
You look like I woke up and washed my face, had some orange juice, and I'm here. That's it. That's all you're giving us.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to talk about the struggles that we're going through right now, literally in real time, because most of our podcast episodes are done in advance. So we don't, like the one that you guys listened to last week was filmed at the beginning of October, and we're now towards the end of November. And experiencing different difficulties and challenges than we were in the last episode. So I'd love to talk about the different state issues that we're experiencing.
Ooh, we should have did this last night where we could have a drink and talk about this, because the state is just something else right now.
Yeah. So I don't know about you guys where your programs are located, but Ours is in New York. We have 2 centers in New York, and I've talked about it in different ways on my YouTube channel, on our podcast episodes, on social media. So you can look at other stuff in order to catch up. But we have 2 centers in New York, and New York currently has a not a grant. What is it?
Funding, scholarship.
Yeah, like funding that was allocated to childcare providers under the CARES Act. And one of those things that we're taking advantage of is scholarships for essential workers who need childcare. We did this a few months ago when it was first released, and that program went very well. We were getting payments quickly every week for all the kids enrolled under the scholarship program, which brought in business for us, right? Because many families cannot afford our tuition, and the fact that they could get it for free for a limited time was great. How many kids do you think you enrolled the first time? Do you remember?
Just for the scholarship, I want to say 5. As soon as it
And
came out.
this was back in like April or May when COVID was still
Yes.
like
When
scary for
COVID hit, we were
everybody.
like, what are we dealing with?
Right.
So
Not that it's not scary now, but it's just like we're all living in it with it.
now we kind of get a better understanding and
Yeah.
know what it is. But yeah, about 5, and then maybe the next 2 weeks, that another 5. It grew very quick. But yeah,
But this time, and then our experience with the scholarship program at that time, like I said, was good because we got paid immediately from it, and there were no issues. We also only had 1 location and already had more staff than we needed, so that wasn't an issue. And we had taken advantage of other, like the PPP loan and the EIDL loan. Like we were really covered with what we needed as far as like financially. So it was no issue to take on a few extra kids, and we were getting paid for it. Now with this new site, we were so excited and looking forward to it becoming available again, because a lot of families again cannot afford the cost of childcare, and knowing that it could be free if they were eligible was exciting for them. It was exciting for us to get new kids in the door. And how many kids did you enroll this time, Gigi?
I want to say 15, 16.
Yeah, we have a lot between both centers.
Yeah.
Actually, I could tell you. Hold on. Let me put my glasses back on. We got more for the second location than we did the first.
Well,
at our second location, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 approved families already right now, and then still some trying to enroll. At the first location, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, you're right. 11, 12, 13 at the first location. But many of them are current families.
Family. And then we're at that time, we were honestly very limited with space at our first location. So we just knew off back we wanted to put everyone at our second location. So I think that's why we have more here than at our first.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just so now the dilemma, right? Because we gave them all this information. What's the problem? This sounds great. Dilemma, yeah, right? We have multiple dilemmas. The problem is that New York State allocated these funds. $20 million is what it says. $20 million has been allocated to scholarships for essential workers. That's what they announced back in like I want to say September.
Yeah.
It was the beginning of September that they made that announcement that this is something that's gonna happen. Stay tuned. Like they had us a subscription
Yeah.
email list. Add your email, you'll be notified once scholarships are available. Over a month, we're waiting, collecting all these parents' names. Gigi's doing a great job at like collecting our leads and telling them this is going to happen. Just stay tuned. Then, out of the blue, one day, a little before Halloween, we finally got word that this is happening and it's happening now, and that the scholarship applications are available. So we as
Celebrating.
yeah celebrated, um immediately
Email
got to
blast.
work.
You went
Yeah.
straight to CRM, a blast out there. And I want to say that was maybe like a Friday, because I want to say that
It was.
for Monday, I had over 50 inquiries. And I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, it was the weekend that we were preparing for our Halloween event. And I I've talked in multiple YouTube videos about the different strategies that I use for marketing, and in one of those videos I talked about drip marketing, like campaigns, email campaigns, and that's one strategy that I use often to consistently get in our leads email inboxes so that they can see the great things that we're doing, the different programs that we're offering, like events and offers that we have going on. So I took to the email, sent that out to like 800 people on our email subscriber list that this is now available, created a designated page on our website for people to sign up and say that they're interested so we could help them with their scholarship application. We were really supporting this scholarship that the state. I paid for marketing on social media. Like I know you saw the advertisement that I created with like the chart of the little boy. And I paid to have that like boosted on Instagram so it could get to accounts that were not following us. So I'm spreading the word about this program. And come to find out, a week goes by, no pay. Like we got, it's needless to say, we got people to sign up immediately. Like the right now, like I said, we have 23 families between both of our centers currently on the scholarship. And I think at first we might have had like 6, 7, or 8, and then week after week we got more. But a week goes by, no payment. Another week goes by, no payment. And I'm like, what's going on? Why aren't we getting the payments? So I reached out to our child care resource and referral agency, which is a CCR&R. Every state has their own type of CCR&R. I've also got videos about that on my YouTube channel. All that information is linked in the description of this podcast episode. I reached out to my CCR&R where the money is dispersed to and from to us as daycare providers. And they said that the money has not been released by the state. So I do some investigating, some research, trying to figure out like what is going on. Why is it available? Why is it available and we're not getting paid? Nobody's working on it. That's basically what I came to find out, that the state has not like
hire someone to say, okay, you getting the money and here's the money you need like to disperse the funds, because I think our licensor just not that long ago said they just hired someone to oversee it.
That wasn't even our licensor that said that. It was the person at our CCR&R.
That's crazy. So you know this is coming. We blast it. So this whole time there's no one allocated to it.
No. No, which begs the question, in my opinion, like why you already had people waiting over a month for it to become available. Why not just tell them to wait some more
pretty much.
until you're ready? Like, and I don't know, I CC'd you on an email that I sent on Thursday night to our CCR and R person saying that, you know, I don't want to come across as ungrateful.
Grateful.
I'm super grateful that this scholarship opportunity is available for families that need it, as well as us as childcare providers who are looking to bring in some more business, right? I'm grateful that that has happened. But the problem is that my biggest issue is that we were not notified that there would be a delay, right? Because we weren't notified that there would be a delay, we couldn't make our own decisions as a business to tell families, like, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to pay until we start receiving payments. That's the strategy. Or we could have just chosen to not do it until the money started rolling in.
Coming out, yeah. Or we could have just created like a waiting list, or just
Right.
know for sure, okay, now we're going to accept these families.
Right. Or we could have made it that like we would only offer it to families of our current children, because the biggest issue that we have at this point is we opened it up to bring in more kids, and which means we had to hire staff that we now are not being paid for all of these children that are in our care. So that's
They're still getting free childcare. It's just not from the state, it's from us.
right. And I personally believe that this is an imposition on our business as child care providers, because how, like, I'm just so mad.
Yeah.
How do you have the
Girl,
audacity?
girl.
How do you have the audacity to tell the state of New York that you can get free childcare. You're going to get free childcare, right? Take this scholarship and go any licensed provider, go to them. They can sign up and you could get care for free. Okay, because the state is supposed to pay for it. Okay, so are you telling me that we're supposed to provide free care without any insight as like without any sort of uh, clarity of when to expect our payments? What are we supposed to tell our bill collectors? What are we supposed to tell our landlords? What are we supposed to tell our employees?
Staff.
Yes.
Our staff. That's crazy.
It is crazy. And it could have all been, and if it's going to take a while and you were going to be like, pay us retroactively, that's fine, but make it clear up front.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know up front, but now you know, obviously, because we're 4 weeks in, then put it in writing, document that, send the same way that you blasted that this is now available to families. Put it out there that I'm sorry, it's actually not yet available, and your providers may ask you to pay.
Yeah.
Like, support us in sharing with the families that we're still struggling because you're not paying us yet.
What scares me is basically in December. And this is supposed to be over in January.
Yeah, it's supposed to be over in January. I highly doubt that it's going to take that long for us to start getting payments. But regardless of that, a week, 2 weeks could make a huge difference in business continuity. You know, like if we were already behind on bills or on payments or on rent or something, and you know, we were expecting to get this money up front, or in a better time, in better timing, and now we're not, and we have no idea when we will, that could make a difference of whether we stay open or not. And we're not necessarily in that position right now, and hopefully we never would be, but there are many providers who are, you know? So it's just disappointing. And I tried to put it out there, and like I'm in a Facebook group of daycare providers in New York State. And I don't think I told you this, but I on a Wednesday morning, I think, or Thursday morning, I put like a pat. Let me try to. I'll show you because it's after I wrote it. I was like, Danielle, you did too much, because it was really really lengthy. But I basically was trying to explain to everybody what this issue is and why we all need to be louder about it and reach out to our regional offices.
Is that when I think you did tell me, is that when I was like, when they need to rally up and get our pitchforks?
Oh yeah. Look at this post. Wait. Can you see?
Yeah. That's one post. Dani, that's one post?
Yes.
That's a paper.
Yes, it is.
And how many people you think actually read it? The whole thing?
Nobody. Two people commented, and it keeps going. Two people commented, and like basically the one person, I don't even, I'm not gonna read it. I really want to read it, but I'm not gonna read it.
You know what you did? You went on a rant on social media.
I did go on a rant. And one person, the admin of the group, was like, the money for this program comes from the federal government, not the state. I was like, that's not the point. That's not the point. And regardless of, I said, first of all, the CCR&R is telling us that the state has the money and has not released it. I'm not talking about where it started, because obviously, yes, the money came from the federal government to the states, and the state split it up, has to split it up and disperse it. The CCR&R that we have is saying that it's currently at the state level and needs to be released to the CCR&R to give to us. So that's besides the point. But, and then somebody else commented something that actually made sense. She said that she said the CCR&R did an amazing job in the spring. She said, I figured this time would be different, so I made sure to tell my parents their scholarship would occur once funds are released. I think she means like they need to pay, and then right. Yeah. Again, besides the point, because I acknowledged that in my message, saying that if I had known this was going to happen, I would have done that. But regardless, what she said was the state will not allocate the money evenly to the CCR&Rs, so they wait to get a bill from each to see how much money to send where. That makes a lot of sense to me. That's this random woman who owns a daycare, doesn't work for the state, gave me an explanation that made sense over the one from the CCR&R that we have, and even, our Long Island regional office, licensing agency, both didn't give me answers that made sense. But this woman saying that, like, how does the state know where to send the money? Cool. Yes, that makes sense. Because obviously, like, places like New York City or Long Island there's those CCR&Rs might need more money than upstate New York, where there's a less population. So yeah, that makes total sense. But say that in the beginning, right? If you know that you're going to wait until you start receiving invoices, basically,
places,
right?
On them.
Right. Let us prepare. Give us a chance to make smart decisions. And what, like, many of us as childcare providers already are not the best business people. We didn't go to school for business. We didn't study this. Like, we're already right. So that's all. I'm sorry I started the podcast off like this.
What do you?
Because we didn't even like, halfway through, I was like, we didn't even do like a good intro. I didn't ask you how you were doing. Like,
Okay.
I'm
This
just
is what this
mad.
place is for. This is a safe. Remember in the beginning, we're like, this is a safe place to vent, to get it all out. So it's fine. And what you're going off on, it makes sense. There's people not realizing that you have people to pay. People livelihoods are in your hand. So the frustration of hiring more people and coming off as if we're looking like we're doing so great. So to come and just hopefully not tell our staff we can't pay them because we don't have the money, we look a little off. And
and
we're
and
full.
and our staff don't, they won't get it, and I don't expect them to. It's not their
They don't
job
get
to
their paycheck.
understand how the business works. But it looks crazy that our buildings are full
Yeah.
basically, and we would tell them like, I'm sorry, we don't have money. Like,
Yeah.
how stupid. Like, they'll probably look at like, do you think I'm stupid? Like, I see all these
Telling me I'm
kids.
working. You asked me to come in early, stay later because we get more kids, and there's no money. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's
Then,
not even,
then
go
yeah.
ahead. I'll let you tell the rest because I've been talking too much.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say then our UPK program is basically free too.
Yeah. So for everybody that doesn't know, Universal Pre-Kindergarten is free, federally funded uh, early learning, like pre-kindergarten. It's, the abbreviation is UPK. If you're in or around New York City, you might see a lot of advertisements for pre-K for all or 3K for all. That's universal pre-K, UPK. And our school district is fortunate enough to be one of the districts that have UPK, even though we're not in New York City, because it's everywhere in New York City, but very scarce outside of the city. And even though we're in Long Island, there are some school districts in Long Island, usually lower income districts, that do have a UPK program, and our school district is one of them. So for the past few years, I think this is year 4 for us of having, is it year 4? I think it's year 4 of having a UPK contract with the school district. Something else I've talked about in other videos of mine, and I've spoken about it with a lot of my consultation clients. Which, if you don't know, I do provide consultations. You can go to childcaresites.com/Dani Christine to book a consult. Um, this is year 4 of a contract with the school district, and what that is a grant that we have applied for to collaborate with them to offer the school district children that live in that neighborhood can come to our site for free pre-K, where parents don't have to pay for it for a certain number of hours. And it's supposed to be overseen by the school district. Like, we have them, we're supposed to have a frequent visit from like the pre-K person. I don't even know his title. What is his title? The like, I see the lead of the pre-K department. I really don't even know.
He oversees it.
Yeah, like somebody that oversees all the pre-K classes within the school district comes to us every so often to see how we're doing, or he's supposed to. Yeah, so we've done that for years. And the way that it works is the money that we are contracted for gets split up over 10 months, and we get paid for the months of September through June, based on the amount of kids that we have enrolled. Where's that money? We're in November now, and we still have not yet to receive a check, and have no idea when to expect one. And I've reached out so many times to so many people within the school district. The last that I did hear from the person in the position that we're supposed to be in contact with, the last that I heard was that they were waiting to see if the state would release the funds. What does that mean? We already have a contract. You already sent kids to us, and we already have teachers that we've been paying to provide care. Like, what happens if they don't release the funds? I'm just so I'm so over it. I'm so over it. And like I again don't want to seem ungrateful or feel like I'm giving anybody a hard time because I get it. I feel like I'm not really someone that isn't understanding. Like I feel like I have a high level of like sympathy and like
Empathy.
yeah, like I don't I'm not really someone that gets rowdy because I'm not getting what I want when I want it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not one of those people that goes into 99-cent stores and asks for discounts. That was a shot at Gigi.
It's the bargain. And
But yeah, no, I don't complain much about like to the people. I might complain to other people, but I don't really like go in and cause right. So, but like I can't just if I didn't the thing that bothers me the most is that if I didn't call all these months, like if I wasn't emailing, if I wasn't calling over the past couple of weeks, like, hey, we haven't received a check, would anybody reach out and say, hey, I'm sorry, there's been a delay in UPK funding? Like,
no, because look, no one technically reached out. You're talking personally to people you know directly about the situation, but the state itself has not released any apologies or any updates of when the money will be released. So the answer to that would have probably been no.
for that, I don't think it should have been for the scholarship. The state definitely should have released some sort of documentation saying that there's a delay or whatever. But for this it's definitely a school district should have reached out because the school district is who I have a contract with. I don't have a contract with New York State for UPK. I have a contract with the school district. So the school district should have said, like, you know, they should have reached out and said there's a delay or there's whatever. But like if I didn't call and complain and ask what's going on or keep bothering them, and I'm doing it in the most professional way possible, I'm sending nicely written emails, I'm saying thank you, have a good day, I understand it's hard, I get it, but I'm also trying to make it clear that we have bills and teachers to pay and rent to pay. And that's hard to do without even knowing when to expect our payment.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that we were struggling before with like we weren't even getting our food program reimbursement for the month of October. But I don't know if I told you, but that's available now. I think I did tell you.
Yeah.
That's available now, and we should be getting it in the next couple of days. Is something on my nose?
I do. I see it. Like a little round thing.
My nose is peeling from when I was sick the other day. Does that happen to anybody else? Oh, there we go.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
When you blow your nose too much and then the next day it's like flaky. I'm putting Aquaphor. I really don't care this podcast episode.
You just want to get it out.
Yeah. So I'm thankful that we're getting our what's it called? Food program payment in the next couple of days. That's a decent amount of money that now our food vendor can stop harassing us for. It's a lot, guys. I feel like we've shown a lot of highlights or talked about a lot of fun things, but often, not all the time, but oftentimes there are not so fun things that we have to deal with. Right? And this is one of those times. And I was just telling Gigi the other day that I feel like it's something about November. It's something about November. Every November, we go through something.
She's been right so far. Sure. Well, you know how you can make yourself feel better? Eating cookies, popcorn, bunch of
I'm
crunch,
drinking a Coke.
snacking. Okay, it'll make you feel better. Like me, eating cookies make you feel better.
um, what else? What do you want to go over? What have you been struggling with this month?
School.
School. You're back in school?
The look at me, CACFP, the director certificate.
I know that you signed up for it, and with everything going on, I chose to leave you alone and not ask you about it.
It's I have not been able to do it. I have to like reapply.
Wait, so did you start?
I started and just stopped. By the time I get home, I'm too tired. I'm sleepy. Long days at work. I just wouldn't be fair for me to continue and fail classes when I know I'm not the type to fail classes.
When did you start? And like, what did you have to do? Like, when did what is it, a college course, or is it like you go as you, how does it work?
No,
Why
it's
don't you tell people what it is if they're interested in doing it? Like, why are you doing it?
The director. What is the abbreviation for it to call again? Begin with a C.
CPAC,
CPAC.
the Children's Program Administrator Credential.
Yes. So that's basically equivalent or somewhat close to a bachelor's degree in early childhood education. So I needed to have that in order to oversee our second location. So I started off great, but the business just got fast. It grew. You guys know I have a daughter. She's extremely very vocal nowadays. So when she's ready to go home, she lets it be known, "Mommy, it's time to go home." Um, by the time we get home, every mom knows routine. Dinner, get them ready for bed. Sometimes you fall asleep before they fall asleep. Just life got in the middle of it, but I'm trying to focus to get back into that. It'll be definitely helpful, especially if gonna continue to start off other locations. The goal is to have, Dani's name or my name to start it up until we find the appropriate person to become whatever leadership title.
That's a whole nother story too.
We didn't talk about that at
No,
all.
I don't even want to. Let's not.
We did not talk about that. We could summarize it because they're gonna be like, what? We can't just leave.
Maybe that should be the secret sound.
Okay, definitely. It has to be the secret sound. So basically, was not supposed to be at the second location for this long. But either way, I'm down for the cause. But yeah, I'm basically operations manager / director, and I still have to do a little bit of both. So there was no mental room for school this month. So my goal is to try probably January, to be very honest, as we get the second location get settled by then, and funding is good, and we're able to operate like we would want to. But yeah, that's the only thing I've been struggling with, is school. My daughter's getting big. I'm struggling with that.
So big.
She talks like me. She makes me want to stop and reevaluate myself and put lots of filter in me. I could be very outspoken, and she's 100% outspoken, and she's been like that since she was a baby. I don't know if Dani ever remember, even with nursing, she would just walk up to me and just like plop it out. She's a very outgoing child. So, and then, I don't know, I've been struggling to, I guess, to create a personal life. I don't have much going on my end.
What's that? Especially during COVID. What's a personal life?
Okay,
Where
maybe
are you
that's
gonna
what it is.
go?
Don't have any of that. But yeah, that's about it. But if you want to take a look at some highlights, we enrolled a good amount of children in our second location, and Dani knows the math. We opened in September, we're just wrapping up October, and we're
It's
70.
November. It's been 2 months. It's been I in the text message, the group text that we have with our administrators, I put 7 weeks, and then I went back to calculate. I was like, oh, it's been a little more than 7 weeks. It's been like 9 weeks. since we opened, and we are at 79% enrollment. Once we come back from Thanksgiving break, we should be at between 79 and 85% if all goes well, when all goes well, and all the kids that are registered to start begin with us. So having that big of an enrollment within 2 months of opening is crazy and something to celebrate. I wish we had the money to show for it that we are owed, but
I think that's the same thing I said.
yeah.
But we are blessed. It's just unfortunately hiccups that we have no
are
control
blessed.
over. We're blessed. We could have definitely still been with just what, 4 toddlers that we stole from our first location. We could have still been at that.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a friend that called me today to ask about potentially, like, she owns a childcare business as well, and she's thinking about expanding, and she was like, how did you feel when you were going through expansion right now? Like, yeah, she was saying that she's scared, and I was like, I was scared too, but like, I feel like for me right now, I feel like this is the time to make risky decisions, because I personally, it's not like I have kids. I don't have anyone to take care of, or anyone that's depending on me in my personal life. I definitely do, like, our employees. I think about our employees all the time as if, like, and I mean, I guess it's true. Like, I am directly responsible for making sure that you guys are getting your paychecks and you're supporting your own households. So I guess I do need to start thinking of it that way. But in terms of like taking risky decisions to increase the success of my business, I feel like for me at this age and place in my life, is easier to be more excited about an opportunity than scared. Because as she was telling me about the opportunities that she has, I'm like, yeah, do it. That sounds amazing. Like, the she already has this opportunity available for her at a center that's closing, and reached out to her directly, and is willing to work with her on a concession to start up. And I'm just like, do it. But like, she's got kids, and she, I don't know what's going on, that all the different factors into her personal life that would make her hesitate to take those kinds of things. But I don't know. For me in business, I'm just like, if it seems like a good opportunity, I'm going to make it work.
Yeah.
And I guess that would be my advice for anybody else that, is struggling with making a business decision, whether it's to finally start something that you've been thinking about for a while. Because I get that kind of question in my people that hire me for consultations as well. It's like, oh, I've been saving for a while, or I've been thinking about doing this for years. Like, do it. You'll figure it out. When you have no other option, you're going to figure out how to make it work. Trust me.
It's true.
Yeah. Should we jump into the secret sound?
Yeah, let's go. I feel like it feels weird not doing the whole clapping and all that stuff. That's our beginning.
Yeah, and I did not care today. I'll tell you that. But
We all are in
we
kind of days.
right. And we can't clap on Zoom. That's not necessary. I'm like, actually no, we have, because you have a microphone. Remember
Yeah.
guys, we tried to make
Yeah.
this podcast so professional. We both got the same matching earphones and mics. Mine is right here, not even plugged in. I'm using the computer microphone. I completely forgot about this thing, but I thought that you got a podcast, you got to have a microphone, right? It's going to sound better. Honestly, no, it didn't. For like, we've done episodes where like episode 1 that we recorded with the camera. I have all the things on my desk. Episode 1 we recorded with Gigi here in person of season 2. We recorded in person with my camera, and my camera has a mic in it. It's got a built-in mic, but we also set up the microphone and recorded through this website called Zencaster, that takes the audio file of recordings and saves it to your computer. Usually what I would do, anybody, like the one person that's listening interested in this, I'm just going to continue explaining. But when you edit a video that has separate audio, I do it in iMovie because it's free on my computer. And I would take the audio file and put it on top of the video and turn off the sound from the video version. And the reason that we clap, in case you don't know too, Gigi, is because we want to make sure that our word, like when we're speaking, the video of our mouth moving matches with the timestamp that begins with the audio. Yeah. So that's why we clap. And I started editing episode 1 with the mic's audio, and it sounded worse than the audio from just the built-in microphone in the camera. So I took it out. So now I don't care about this microphone anymore. And I think it's cheap. I think that's probably why. And also probably because this room, my office, doesn't have any rugs. There's barely anything in here. So there's a big echo. So for some reason, the microphone picked that up more than the camera. I don't know. But now it is what it is. You guys can hear me. When we start making money on the podcast, then maybe we'll buy better things. But yeah, for everybody that is not aware what the secret sound is, it is for our audio only listeners. If you're watching this as a video, that would mean that the audio only version of this episode came out last week. So you could have heard it a week earlier than you did. So you should subscribe to our podcast, Childcare Sights and Sounds, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also go to childcaresites.com/podcast and even listen on just your internet browser by going to that website. So you can listen to our podcast episodes a week sooner than you can watch the video replay that you might be watching right now. And what we do to make that experience extra special is we have an audio only segment where this video is going to turn off and you're not going to be able to see the rest of it, but you'd only be able to hear what we're saying if you're listening on a podcast app or on childcaresites.com. So that's what we're about to do. We're going to tell you what we were joking about earlier, as far as why Gigi is still on site at our second location. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned if you're listening, and thank you so much for watching. Leave a thumbs up on this video if you're watching, and leave a comment and let us know what your November struggles are, or if you have a specific month in the year that what's your struggle month? Because ours is certainly November.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
I think some people might say every month in 2020.
For real. Okay. All right. Thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you over in the secret sound. Bye-bye.